Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We certainly live in a time when there's so much science out there, there's so much, knowledge out there. At the click of the button, you can almost access any information you need. And people come to consultation rooms these days, filled and equipped with so much information, both useful, useless, and even sometimes confusing information. And that's what I'm about to speak about today, particularly as it concerns sleep. Nowadays, I see a trend of people coming to the clinic so concerned about their sleep. Probably fall into two categories. There are those people who come in and they had no sleep problems before, but when they started using some of the, health monitoring devices, so to speak, they realized that when they leave it on their wrists or on their arms as they sleep, when they wake up the following morning, after a while they get a trend or a report about their sleep telling them that, maybe the percentage of deep sleep they had in the last week was not good enough, or the percentage of REM sleep, or the percentage of non-REM sleep, or whatever. So you have those people coming in and they've become so worried, concerned, and obsessed, so to speak, about their sleep. Not because they actually had any problems that was perceptible to them, not because the ab initio had any issues with sleep quality, but then because these apps or these monitoring devices tell them about their sleep quality, then they start getting worried. And that worry, that concern now births a new problem, which is now concern about sleep. And when you start getting concerned about your sleep, you develop sleep anxiety. And sleep anxiety ultimately helps you create a new problem, which is insomnia. Because naturally, we don't think about sleep. We all just feel sleepy and we go to bed trusting in our ability to sleep, because sleep is inherent, sleep is natural. But when you start getting anxious about sleep, oh, my sleep quality isn't great, my devices told me I haven't slept well in the last 2 weeks, it says my deep sleep is not enough, my REM sleep is not enough, and it's given me, information about what things can happen, and I've Googled, I've seen what things can happen to me long term or even short term. And even some people, interestingly, when they don't have a good day for whatever reason, maybe they were tired, or they just didn't think they were sharp enough that day, or they thought they were forgetting, they couldn't concentrate, then they blame it on sleep because their device had told them they weren't sleeping well. And we all have bad days. We all have days we can't concentrate so well. And that helps to feel that perception that they're not sleeping well. So that creates a vicious cycle. And then that helps to now create a problem of insomnia. So these were individuals who, to start out with, they never had any problems with sleep. It was created through, using these devices and following what it's been monitoring and reporting to you. That's one category. Then we have another category of people who ab initio had insomnia, couldn't really sleep well. And then they started using these devices, whoever told them about it, and then it starts monitoring their sleep and telling them how much of deep sleep, how much of REM sleep they're getting, how little it is, and that now helps to, aggravate the sleep problem. Some of the sleep problems would probably have lasted a few days and resolved on its own had they not started using these devices to help to now perpetuate the sleep problems. Like I've said in my previous videos, that when people have long-term sleep problems, there are usually three factors. There's always the precipitating or the initiating factor. There is always also the predisposing factor, and then there's the perpetuating factor. So this device helps to perpetuate the problem. And then when they come to you, it's become a complex problem. So what is the way forward? Now, this is a problem, I think a term has been coined for it. It's called orthosomnia. Orthosomnia is a situation where people now become so, obsessed and conscious about their sleep quality. They want to perfect everything. I once saw a patient who actually was telling me that, oh, okay, now I want what I want. Because I ask every patient what their sleep goals are. And he said, I want to have 25% REM sleep. I want to have 20% deep sleep. This is what is recommended. And I'm like, oh, gosh. So orthosomnia is a real problem, guys, with the advent of these health monitoring devices that we stick on or wear on our wrists. I'm not saying that these devices are bad outright. They're very good. They can be life-saving for some people. They can tell you when your heart is not, maybe your heart rate has gone up or you're having arrhythmias, or it can give you important warnings. I have a colleague, for instance, who the only the only sign that he felt when he had some issues with his heart was what the device showed him, that his heart rate had gone, much, much higher than what it used to be. So that drew his attention. They went to the hospital and they found out something was wrong and stuff. So these devices have their benefits, but the point is that they also have their ill effects. So to everything, overusage or over-dependence on it can potentially create new problems. So we need to be aware of these things and use them cautiously. So do not be too carried away by your device telling you those kind of things. Are there times that we as doctors, neurologists, or people who deal with sleep problems, are there times that we actually use this sort of devices or recommend their usage? Yes, definitely. Sometimes we want to see what we call Actigraphy. We want to see how people sleep. So sometimes we use these devices. We recommend them in such situations, especially if we think people are having problems with circadian rhythm regulation of their sleep. We actually use these devices to monitor their sleep trend over a period of time. And maybe a few other times, maybe for people who can't complete sleep diaries, for us to see the pattern of sleep. But outside of this context, we usually don't use it. Now, I have a patient who I saw probably 2 weeks ago who came in with insomnia, which probably I think was a combination. There was an initial problem with sleep, and they started wearing this device. And this device compounded the problem by fueling the anxiety, by showing them how poorly they were sleeping. And when we delve into the history of their sleep and try to find the root cause, and it was just some simple advice, which included stopping to wear that device during sleep, and then a few other interventions here and there. And that was probably, for me, we made a magical turnaround. It was one of the, would I say, the best responders I've ever seen to, natural instructions on how to sleep better. After 2 weeks, he came back with, a high, would I say, magnitude of improvement in his sleep just by simple instructions and taking away the device. So this device can actually create a problem on its own. So I don't want to make this video too long, but the summary or the long and short is, if you want to use these devices, that is fine. You can use them, but be careful. Don't get too carried away with all of the details it starts churning out and giving to you. Don't let it create sleep anxiety. All right, thanks for watching this far. Appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that button, share this video, like, and leave your comments behind. Let's see what your experiences are with these devices. All right, so bye for now, and I'll see you next time.